Ausmachen hier. Test. Let's see if we are live. I have my something's here. So let's put it on mute here. Oh yeah, we're live. So I'm not doing this very often. There's some kind of new buttons here with StreamYard. We will figure it out. Welcome. Thank you that you took the time to join us. Very first question before we start to you, Florian. How would you explain in a really short way what CommonGround is about to someone who is not in crypto at all? So Web2 people who don't know anything about crypto first, and then let's explain it in a way for crypto natives, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, to someone who's not at all in crypto, I would explain CommonGround as imagine a place on the internet where all your favorite communities, be it for video games, be it for your hobbies or anything else, where they live and have a home, and where you can easily discover communities about topics that matter to you. You can join these communities and you can find new friends. You can trust those friends because these communities are really filled with people that are curious and interested in these topics. And the platform makes it really simple for you to make these, human connections with others, to build reputation in these communities, and to ultimately, build something together with other people. And it could be about anything. That's really our vision. So we start with Web3 communities because we believe they are particularly sort of endangered on the internet today. They don't really have a place they can call their home. But our long-term vision is that at some point, Web3 will become so easy to use and so ubiquitous that it will just be the web again, as we used to call it, I think, 10 years ago. And then all of these different communities can come together and be one. So there won't be a difference anymore between, well, we're a gaming community in crypto and we're a gaming community doing non-crypto stuff. It's just going to be gaming again. It's just going to be, hobbies, political parties even. There's so many applications for the technologies that we make available through CommonGround that I believe that everybody can find something in there that helps them to fulfill their goals, find friends, and just have a nice place to hang out online.
Right. So it's a platform for communities to get together in a nice and easy way. So before we go deeper into that, please introduce yourself. So you are Florian, and what else?
Yeah, I'm Florian, originally from Germany, now living in Portugal, in Lisbon. I am a lawyer by trade, but before actually I was a lawyer, I was a web developer. So I just into law with all this knowledge about how the internet works and the web. And when I finished law, that was around 2012, 2013, I discovered crypto. And I understood that it is probably the most interesting thing to do for a lawyer because there are all these unsolved legal problems in this new area of the internet. And so I became a crypto lawyer in 2013, which was when Bitcoin was really the only thing at the time. Then Ethereum happened. Then, even back then in 2015, I remember people talking about NFTs. So I was really interested in NFTs very early because I had a copyright law background, and NFTs sort of are this new way to tokenize intellectual property, among other things. I think that is something that the VeVe community has actually understood quite well. And fast forward, 10 years of being in crypto, I understood that what this space really needs is a safe environment for people curious about Web3 to learn about it, to connect with other people about it, to build communities in it, to find friends, and to do it all in a way that is safe. And I think today, if you're not absolutely tech savvy, Web3 is not a safe place for you. There are a million ways how you get rugged, how you get hacked, scammed. And I think we see it left and right. It happens in Discord, it happens in Telegram. And what unifies all of these solutions is that they are really built with a Web2 mindset. That means on Discord and on Telegram, accounts are not really strong identities. That means that anyone can pretend to be anyone else, right? Identity theft on Discord and on Telegram happens all the time. I think there are 10 people on Telegram that have my name and my profile picture, and they randomly speak to other people saying, hey, I'm Florian, can you send me some Bitcoins to this address or something like this, right? So these kinds of identity scams happen all the time. And I think it needs a Web3 native environment where we take security of our users very seriously in order to change that situation. And this is what CommonGround is.
Quite interesting. I'm not sure if you're aware, so obviously you know about VeVe. We will talk about that later, but there is a good partner of VeVe. The platform is called Elman X. And the Elman X just recently had a breach, a security breach on Discord. And a lot of funds were stolen, which is really sad to see. This also happened similarly to VeVe a while back. I remember it was like 1 year ago or something. And it was a bit, for me, it had this aftertaste, because I never liked Discord. So whenever I have to go into Discord because I need to do something because I'm being asked to, you need to join Discord, push this button and that, and then I'm so overwhelmed by this platform. And I for one, I think I'm a quick learner. I don't know, but Discord I never got familiar with. So I put in my description, does it say here, new way of connecting? No, in the description of this video, that social platforms by Web3 enthusiasts and Web2 with a lot of add-ons, bots, but with way too many security risks. So Discord, if I understood that right, is completely Web2. It's actually not. Yeah, please explain that.
It is Web2 because it is completely built for a Web2 world. That means the way you sign up to Discord is tied to your phone number or your email address. It is not tied to any form of Web3 identity. That is, I think, the core sort of piece that makes Discord Web2. And then what Discord did a while back, which I think is really smart, is they offered a bot API, which allows anyone to write software for Discord and enhance its functionality. And so Web3 projects did that as well. They wrote, a trading bot for Discord, or they wrote, a token gating bot for Discord. But the problem here is that these bots have a limited scope of what they can really do in Discord. And that scope does not stretch into the realm of identity or anything like this. So retrofitting Web3 functionality into this Web2 environment of Discord comes with limitations that are exposed as security holes that people regularly fall for and then are scammed out of their money. And, so it's identity. But then I think another important aspect is links to third-party websites, right? I can come to the VeVe Discord, attain a fake identity, call myself like one of the founders or some famous influencer in the VeVe community. And then I can post a link that goes to a domain that looks somewhat similar to a website you might have already heard of. And then the moment you click on that link, your browser is being exploited and you have, maybe a virus on your computer, or this website mimics a well-known website and asks you to connect your wallet to send some funds. So these are really easy scams. And it happens every day. And what we are doing at CommonGround, or it's part of our roadmap, is to scan all the links that are being posted on CommonGround and actually say, hey, we believe this domain is a fake domain that is mimicking that other domain. It's probably not safe for you to click on this link. Or we could say, hey, this address has already been flagged as being a scam by somebody else. Don't click on it. Or maybe we even censor the message in a sense, and we say like, hey, scam detection, this and this user is posting a scam link, and we notify a moderator. So we just take security much more seriously, because we know in Web3 people collect valuable things and they keep them on their wallets, and they need to be protected. Discord just doesn't care. They don't, even the company publicly said that they don't care about Web3, that they are not planning to integrate any features that make users safer, or make the use of Discord more convenient in connection with Web3 tools. So it really needs a dedicated effort to give that to the users, which is what we've started and are working on.
All right. I think I understand. So in order, no, but the VeVe community is quite large, right? Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying now to understand, how do we convince to people to move completely to another platform? So that I don't think that there must be an incentive, because look, I like X, Twitter, right? And I'm basically constantly tweeting something or posting there. And there are alternatives, right? Mastodon, I think, is completely free. It's also Web3 a bit, or completely Web3. No, is it?
No, it's federated, which is sort of decentralized, which is a value that Web3 also pursues. But I don't think they would identify as Web3, because they don't have the ability, for example, to log in with your wallet as an identity or any other things like this. So I wouldn't file Mastodon under Web3, but through its federation model, it is much closer to the values behind Web3. I think that is a fair way to put it.
Yeah, but how many people are using it? And now even the Zuckerberg alternative, it's pumped like this, and now it went down. So what I'm trying to understand is, how do we get the people there? Because I'm not gonna be able. Look, we have now 3-4 people alive. By the way, I hoped that Foster Hilt, maybe he will join us still. I invited him, but he's doing a night shift, and he says he told me that he's not sure if he can, because Foster Hilt, he is like famous in the VeVe space. If he would join, then you would see like boop, 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 boop. Anyways, I hope that this video will be watched by some people in order to understand the value, what this change of a platform could bring.
So in terms of, why would people switch? I think there's a bunch of potential reasons why people would. And you said it correctly. It doesn't maybe even need to be an incentive. But of course, that is something that we can leverage. So CommonGround is built as a user-owned platform. So unlike X, what we are planning to do is to give the people that start to use CommonGround basically shares in the project. So if the platform becomes successful, you become wealthy, right? So there should be a direct link between people adopting a platform and bringing value to it by creating an account, inviting friends, starting a community, creating some buzz around it, and your ownership in this platform. So we do have this idea of incentives, but I think in the very beginning, that is not enough. You also need utility, right? You need an actual reason. What does it bring me? What does it do better than Discord or Telegram? And so there's a bunch of things that we have in store. One of them is you as a VeVe user in particular will be able to create that account with your VeVe identity, your VeVe account. So there's a direct connection between your identity in the VeVeverse and your identity on CommonGround. It's the same identity. You can't do this on Telegram.
Did you just say VeVeverse already? VeVeverse. So
I use VeVeverse in a very wide sense. It's not necessarily the VeVeverse itself. I just mean the VeVe, universe. like
Okay.
this, VeVe universe. So it's the same identity. Through that identity, you will then be able to create, communities or subgroups within communities that can be token gated with some of the tokens, some of the collectibles that you own. So you're able to join exclusive groups just for people who have proven that they also collect the same or similar collectibles as you. So it's a way to have, public conversations in public rooms, but it's also a place to have more exclusive conversation in more exclusive rooms. And I know that there are some Telegram groups for people who collect a particular collectible, but there is no way to prove really beyond a doubt on Telegram that you actually own this. So on CommonGround, because it's Web3 native, we can actually, prove it on a sort of mathematical level that you really have what it takes. You have the skin in the game to make you eligible to join certain groups.
That's what token gating means.
That is what token gating means, yeah. So I think this is one of the, utilities that we have. What we've launched recently is the ability to have live streams with other token holders. So we call that token gated live streams, right? So it's not just going to be groups where you chat, where you can apply token gating to. You can apply this to live broadcasts, live calls, live streams of any kind. So what we do right now could happen in a way where only certain collectors in VeVe have even access to. So you can create these exclusive environments, which is something that people might find interesting, right?
But Florian, let me ask this quickly. Token gating, does it mean already that this VeVe API is implemented? So you will, with your platform, somehow connect to our wallet address in order to see if I have Todd Batsman. And then
Exactly.
I can, okay, got it.
That is exactly the plan. And we're pretty far in this integration. So I think it will go live in the next couple of weeks. Maybe end of September is something to already look forward to as a sort of tentative release date for this. So I think this will be very interesting for the VeVe community. And then I think a third point that could be really a game changer for VeVe is what we call ecosystems. And that's something we're introducing. So this is some real alpha that I'm dropping. This is sort of not really public knowledge.
We like alphas.
We're going to introduce this concept of ecosystems. And I don't know if I can share my screen, but I can probably show it here, present.
I hope that you can.
Yes. Yeah, it works. Okay. You should be able to.
I'm pushing a button now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what
quick question before we. So this is now CommonGround, the platform, or is it not?
It is, but it is a mock-up. So it's not the live platform. It is a visual representation of the platform. It's pretty much what it looks like today, with one big difference. This is completely branded to the VeVe ecosystem. So CommonGround as a platform disappears in the background and just makes room for the VeVe ecosystem. So instead of the VeVe community having just one or 2 or 3 communities maybe on CommonGround among many other communities, this could be a dedicated space for VeVe, as if VeVe had its own Discord platform, essentially, where basically every community within this ecosystem is VeVe related. It could be, hundreds of communities from all the people all over the world who collect or love VeVe, and they just have their own dedicated platform, essentially, where they can create communities, where these communities can have collaborations with one another, where there can be, information sharing across the whole ecosystem. There could be token drops. There could be airdrops of different kinds. There can be identity and reputation sharing across that whole ecosystem. So we believe that maybe this is something that could be really interesting for, the VeVe ecosystem to actually not just use CommonGround through the community feature that is free and available to everybody, but actually to have a dedicated ecosystem, a dedicated instance of CommonGround that is really just about VeVe. That's not a requirement for anyone to use CommonGround, but we believe this is a really sort of compelling way to make the platform attractive to an ecosystem such as VeVe.
But you know what I forgot to ask? One thing I forgot to ask, and I know that we talked like 3 months ago. We had our first chat. Does it cost anything?
No, CommonGround is completely free at the moment, and we want to keep it that way. We are, of course, in a need to find a sustainable business model as a platform. And so if you want to run a community on CommonGround, that's totally free. But we believe that down the road, we can give you as a community ways to monetize the attention and the members of your community in various ways. That could be through subscriptions, that could be through, maybe token drops, that could be through various different ways. And we want to give you these monetization avenues as a community. And we would take a small platform fee when there are people buying your content or buying access to your community, buying a membership for a specific role maybe. So whenever you make money on CommonGround through one of the means we offer to you, we would take a small fee, we think 10%. And from that, we hope that with enough scale, we can actually have, sustainable revenue that we can, finance the operations of the platform going forward. And if it's a breakout success, actually share that revenue back to our users, right? So there's only so much we need for software development, and whatever we make on top of that, we want to put it into the hands of our users to decide what to do with it, pay it out to themselves as dividends, invest it into communities, make like a community accelerator, could be all kinds of different things. On top of that, what we're doing is we're allowing, big brands, ecosystems to license their own dedicated version of CommonGround, such as this mock-up we created here for VeVe. So it could also be that maybe VeVe as an organization or, people within the VeVe community say, hey, CommonGround is cool, but we would love to have our own dedicated version of CommonGround for VeVe. Let's license this platform and have sort of our dedicated, Discord-like platform for VeVe. That would also be a revenue stream for us.
Okay. So allow me the question, do you have already communities onboarded? So what does the platform look like now? Is it still beta, alpha? Does it work?
So we still call it alpha, but we're pretty close to going into beta because we've made some major work on the platform. If you want, I could just give a quick demo of the platform, share my screen.
Definitely. Let's have a look.
Okay. Let me know when you can see it.
Now.
Okay, perfect. So I'm right now on the CommonGround front page. So I opened the app, it runs as a native app on my computer, and it probably looks a little bit like Discord if you're familiar with Discord. If you're not into dark mode, we also have a light mode. So depending on what you're more into, you can switch this. And what we do on this community front page is we aggregate all the news from all the communities that you're a member of, and we put them on the front page for you. So you don't have to click through all your communities that you're a member of, which we have on the left-hand side, like on Discord, but you just get the news right on your front page, and you don't have to go through all the different communities to see what they are up to. So that's a really, really cool way of, I think, browsing what's happening, what's new on the platform. And then when you want to dive into any particular community, you just click on the community in the sidebar, and you get a view that's also probably familiar to you. Your communities stay on the left, and then you are in this beautiful community home, and we call this page the feed. And what's really happening here is that you see an aggregation of all the news of this particular community, right? So you get a really nice overview. What is this community talking about? What's relevant to them? And so I can click into any of these and just read what's going on. You can post videos. So once a week or every other week, we post a little video here for our communities that follow us, and so on. And then on the left-hand side, you have basically what we call the community sidebar. And here you can see the members that are in this community. You can search for people like Jan, who's my co-founder in this. Everybody has a social profile. I can send them direct messages. I can see the communities they are part of, all those sorts of things.
And just a quick question in between. Highlight Jan again, please.
Mm-hmm.
And you said before that you are able to verify that this person is that person indeed, and he will not be able to be mocked up with another, and no one else will be able to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
How?
So at the moment, this verification is completely limited to wallets. So I have to know, really who is Jan in terms of his cryptographic identity, right? So at the moment, this feature is not very useful. And in fact, we don't even show the wallet of Jan. So at the moment, I would not be able to verify it, but the technology to do it is basically already built in. It's something we have to expose in the front end of the application to do it. What we want to add is not just, so let me find Jan again. What we want to add is the ability for Jan to verify his Twitter account. So right now he just says, I'm Hangebrog Jan, but anyone could post that Twitter identity. In the future, you have to authenticate with Twitter to make your Twitter profile appear here. The same with Discord. You want to show your Discord profile, authenticate with Discord on CommonGround. You want to show your Telegram identity, authenticate with Telegram, and you can put it here. So instead of a free-form text field, it will require a real authentication. And that's how I, as a user, can verify, is this really the person they pretend to be, or is this just a scammer, right? So that's why we're still alpha. We have the sort of back-end technology to make these verifications work, but a lot of things are not yet exposed in the front end, and we're slowly catching up with all these features and requirements to make that actually work. So everything I say comes with a grain of salt, that it's maybe on the roadmap and not actually functional.
When we talk verification process, we are not talking about doxing someone. I can go as VeVe Meister, but yeah, okay.
So doxing would really mean that information about who are you personally is propagated on the platform. That is something that we don't do, but you can choose as a user to whom you want to expose which information. So Jan could say, I don't want anybody to see which wallets I have connected to the platform, but I want certain friends or people that I follow and consider friends, they should be able to see my wallets, right? And so you can really determine who can know who you are and who can know how much about you. And doxing is really this idea of, well, it's public on the internet that, this is you, this is your address where you live, and these are your wallet transactions, and now go have fun, right? So we definitely do everything to prevent that sort of information leakage on CommonGround, for sure. Let me continue a little bit. So what's really interesting, what we introduced is the concept of roles. So what we understood is that every community works with the concept of roles in one form or another. It can just be something like an admin, a member, and a moderator as a role, But in this new version of CommonGround that we launched 2 weeks ago, we have a completely customizable role system. So here we have a role for verified communities. So if you're an admin of a verified community, we issue you a specific collectible. And by virtue of having this collectible, you can come to the CommonGround community and claim the role of a verified community. And by claiming this role, you unlock certain channels and areas inside the CommonGround community. So I have this role. It's assigned to me because I run a verified community on CommonGround, and that unlocks to me this area here, Q&A, for verified communities. I'm only able to be in this community, in this channel right now, because I have this role of verified community. If I wouldn't have it, I wouldn't even see that this area here exists. So this is a really nice mechanism to structure your community into different buckets of people who may have different interests, different levels of skin in the game, of commitment to your community, who might be, newcomers or, total OGs in your community. So it's a really powerful and flexible system to make that happen. And roles can be token gated, so gated to certain collectibles that you need to own, but it can also be assignable. And in the future, I think we will have, like the ability to say, hey, this role is only for people who have 10,000 followers on Twitter. And then you need to authenticate with your Twitter profile. We check how many followers do you have. And then if there are roles for, that kind of gating, then you can claim these roles if you like, let's say there's an influencer badge, and with 10,000 followers or more, you can claim the influencer role, and then you have access to certain areas, maybe to talk to other influencers about how to influence better,
Here's a question from one of the VeVe community.
Mm-hmm.
Can you answer this? I think we talked about this before, but just for us to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the question?
Sorry, I have to scroll. I don't know.
Yeah, no worries, no problem. It says, how would you like to verify that a VeVe wallet is the real wallet of this user?
So yeah, here's sorry. No.
That I think.
Yeah, now I can see it. Okay, how would you like to verify that a VeVe wallet is a real wallet of this user? So what this we're basically integrating an API that allows us to verify your VeVe identity. So only the real, person XYZ that actually has that account with VeVe can have that account on CommonGround. It's not possible to just claim, hey, I am that guy, without actually having done an authentication procedure beforehand where you've proven that you are that person. So this is how we can disambiguate between fake and real accounts and in relation to VeVe in particular. So it's done through an API, I guess.
API, yeah. On this mock-up picture, I think there was something like connect VeVe, or what was it? I think before you start, you're just connecting with the VeVe account.
Yes, exactly. You just click connect, you authenticate, and if the authentication is successful, you can prove to other people on CommonGround that this is really you. And us as a platform, we sort of guarantee it because we made sure that we only accept an actual authentication proof for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the roles, and then the rest of the community is basically chats. So here are different chat channels where I can have conversations with people, and depending on which roles I have in that community, I can see different chat channels. Some are public, others are gated to certain roles, and roles again can be gated by tokens. But it's not just chats. When I go back to the front page, it also extends to blog posts. So blog posts can be gated to roles. So let's say I want to make an announcement to everybody in my community that is, a collector of a specific highly sought after collectible. And this announcement is really just for them because I'm announcing, a private airdrop just for these collectors of that particular collectible. So I can do this announcement in a way where nobody else even knows about it, but those who should know about it, they just have it conveniently in their feed. We call that token gated blogging. And the same also extends to calls. So I can create, video calls and in the future live streams, and I can say, AMA for my hardcore fans. And then, I start this call, and then I can gate this call to certain roles that conform with these particular people, and only they can see the call, only they can join it, only they have seen the announcement that it's actually happening. So this is sort of the feature set of the platform at the moment. Obviously, we also have direct messages, so you can send DMs to people. Obviously, there are notifications. So if somebody mentions you somewhere, you can, easily find that. And it's also really easy to discover other communities. And if this would be in the VeVe ecosystem that I've shown before, all these communities here would be VeVe related communities. So it's like a whole universe of communities just related to VeVe that I can explore, that I can very easily join, that I can find out, what are they about? Oh, they are about, tokenizing my genome or whatever. And so it's a really beautiful way to explore communities and so on.
So in a scenario that I'm picturing now, let's say a year from now, we might very well see specific VeVe communities, VeVe Deutschland, VeVe America, so US, and then even VeVe official, where you can join. And doing the favor, so now if you go, there is already one VeVe community on the left-hand side, right?
There is. Let me go
there.
There.
Is, yes.
So
And,
boom, there it is, right? There is a VeVe community here. And maybe some of your viewers have already been there. 74 members are already in it. And as you can see, there are a bunch of chat channels, and some of them are only for verified humans. So on CommonGround, there's a possibility to prove that you're an actual unique person and not potentially a robot, an AI, or someone who has another account on the platform. So it's a really interesting way to distinguish between sock puppets, as we call them, and real people. So we call this human verification that's built in. Now you can see, hey, here is chat channels where you can only enter with 1 million or more OMI tokens on your connected wallet. And so anyone who has access to this chat is an OMI millionaire. And here is one for OMI Wales. You need 25 million OMI tokens to be able to even see and then join this conversation. So anyone you talk to in this channel, they might be anonymous, they might not want to show who they are, but for certain that they have 25 million or more OMI token on a wallet that they control.
Let me guess, the admin there is Dr. Profit.
He is the whale, right? Yeah, so he's the admin in this community.
Do you know him personally? Are you allowed to say that?
I know him personally, yeah.
Ah, right, because he's also from Portugal, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm not wrong, he also kind of likes this project because it makes absolute sense, right?
He loves the project. He totally believes in it. As I said, he created this VeVe community here, and he also wants to start bringing people to CommonGround as soon as we have this API integrated, where people can authenticate as real VeVe users. Once that's there, which we believe is going to be 2, 3, 4 weeks, something, that's the time frame. We hope that Dr. Profit will start using CommonGround. He will do live AMAs on the platform. I hope you will do live AMAs on the platform. And we can just start building, a core family of enthusiasts. And if we see it with friend tech at the moment, if you bring the key influencers of a community and they start even rewarding other people for joining them on this platform, then I think we can see a real movement to common ground by the VeVe community, and maybe even there's going to be an ecosystem just for VeVe. Could be very interesting.
Interesting. So when I think of and again, let's go back to this Discord thing. I always have the feeling that certain things need to happen first, like bad things, in order for people to get it, to wake up, and then they would be willing to do certain changes. This is actually sad, right? Because you might very well no, is this the right term? like don't wait until it's too late, but just move on. Where do you see your platform in let's say 1 year again?
I think that's a very exciting question, because it took us almost 2 years to get to a point where we have something that is competitive with Discord in terms of features, in terms of convenience. So everything I just showed you is on my desktop computer, but it just as well runs on your mobile phone as an app, right? So it's an enormous investment of work to build something that is really as convenient as the best Web 2 applications that we use today, like Discord, like Telegram. So we've made that investment, and we're here now where we can confidently say, okay, we have something that is competitive on the quality and convenience level with these big companies that we're competing with. And now we are actually coming to this moment where we build the real magic into common ground. And this is, I think, when it starts to become interesting. So one of the first integrations we do is this VeVe integration, where you can, authenticate your VeVe account, where you can start token gating communities or spaces in communities with your actual collectibles in a way that is sort of cryptographically provable that people have this. And then the next integration that we want to do is around governance. So we want to give everybody in the VeVe ecosystem, but also, of course, other communities on common ground, the ability to vote on things, and to vote on things in a way that is completely transparent and guaranteed to not have been tampered with. And so for the VeVe community, I could imagine that people can vote on which drop do they want to see next, which person from the Marvel universe do they want to have a collectible for next. So we want to give communities the ability to have a voice to the outside world, get organized. So that is something that will come really, really soon to common ground as well, the ability to do what we say governance or voting for communities. Other really interesting integrations that we think about are, when you look at this feed at the moment here, it's basically just blog posts, right? And blog posts are cool, but it's basically just texts and images. And something that we will that we've already sort of designed and will find hopefully the resources to develop pretty soon is the ability to post all kinds of multimedia content. So if you're an influencer and you like posting stuff on X, you can do that as well on common ground and actually post, from videos to live streams to votes, as I just mentioned, and other kinds of content, maybe even, real discussions, forum style discussions. And all this content will be aggregated in the feed. And I think browsing these feeds of different communities that you're a member of could just be a really interesting, place for you to get information that maybe isn't as well curated on Twitter, or maybe the information isn't on Twitter or X at all. So I think multimedia feeds are going to be super interesting. They're going to come quite soon. And then, personally, what I dream of is, for example, give every community a wallet. So when you come to common ground as a user, we've had this from the very beginning. We just assigned you a new wallet, not knowing if you would particularly need it, but if you need it, you can use it. We've gotten rid of that feature now because it was sort of entangled with our identity model. but we will reintroduce it in a different way. And so when you come to CommonGround, no matter if you know what Web3 is or not, or if you have a wallet or you don't, we will help you to create one on the fly within seconds, but in a way that is completely safe and you own the private key to your wallet, but in a way where you don't need to really bother with it. What is a private key? How do I keep it secure? There are now ways to do it. And so when you create a community with, 3 friends, what I find really, really fascinating is this idea of giving every new community a community wallet. And a community wallet is something pretty mind-blowing because it's a wallet that is not owned by a single person, but that multiple people own. And now imagine you create a community in the VeVe ecosystem, let's say, and you start to create, you're an artist community, and you create really cool artwork with, certain collectibles, with certain, action figures inside or whatever triggers your fans love. Then, you might want to start monetizing this content by doing drops or by doing subscriptions or any other kinds of things, exclusive live streams, maybe exhibitions of certain kinds. And you can then, as a group, monetize that content and collect the revenue that you generate in your community wallet. And so I think giving communities these tools in this really seamless fashion where they don't need to understand what it is, it's just magically money is available to me as a group and I can spend it on something that matters to the group. That is something that I find highly, highly interesting and something that I look forward to implementing over the next, couple of months on this platform. So to get back to your question, where do I see the platform in a year? I think in a year, we will have hopefully tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of users on the platform. We will have different ecosystems. We will have dozens or hundreds of communities within these ecosystems. And there will just be, awareness and gratitude of people that they can do all of this in a Web3 native environment, and that they understand that this platform where they are doing this on is not like Facebook, it's not like X, it's not like WhatsApp or Discord or Telegram or any other thing they've ever used on the internet before. I hope they will realize that this platform is literally their platform, because that's how we've built it. We have built this platform in a way that over time it becomes the actual ownership and property of the people who use it. And I think that should really change their attitude to it. I do hope that they understand, like, okay, wow, that's a major responsibility. We own this platform that we use and love. Let's make this a place that is amazing. Let's, come together and find, common ground. So our name, because we're all in this together. It's not a player versus player type thing. It's sort of a collective empowerment for communities on the internet. That's sort of our sort of little utopian dream that we have.
Yes. No, absolutely. Very interesting. Thank you for your insights here. One general question I would have for you, and you don't need even to sweet talk it, because VeVe, as we all know, is not quite Web3. We are talking Web3 all the time. But I, for one, I think I understand even why they are not Web3 yet. So in order for this onboarding of the mainstream, everybody wants the masses to come. I don't know, you experienced it probably yourself. Last time I went out with a friend, I talked to him, and he's not at all into crypto or anything. And I tried to explain to him, and then I virtually need to adapt my approach to him to explain him certain things. But then I showed him VeVe and what it's about, and he understood immediately. So this is also why I think that VeVe, Komi, back then, they understood what it's about. Mobile first, have it there, have it approved by the app stores, because if it's not in the app stores, and Web3 is not easy to handle by Apple and Google, you know that, and make this as easy as possible to understand in order for the people to join. And I think I heard it now from you as well. that you want to try to keep your platform as easy as possible, because if it's too complicated, and let's face it, I told you, I went to Discord a couple of times. I tried to, and I say I know my ways now about Discord, but it's just too much. If I just imagine friends of mine who are used to WhatsApp and Telegram, to go to Discord to try to do something impossible. So, and with all of that in light, and also with what NFTs, real NFTs, what they are experiencing now, it seems like a massacre. I don't know how many of those will survive. So I now try, I think I understand what VeVe's approach is. So what is your opinion about VeVe not being Web3? And is it like, meh, or are you also like, I do understand what they're doing? And your honest opinion, please.
My honest opinion is that I think VeVe has proven that their model works. And I agree with you, they've chosen a path that is not dogmatic in terms of the technology. I think they cut away a lot of things that people in Web3 believe to be absolutely important to have, But by cutting away and really exposing the pure thing that's valuable to people who love to, collect things in the VeVe ecosystem, VeVe universe, I think they were able to make it accessible to a way bigger group of people. So I have mad respect for the people who founded and built VeVe, because they were able to, cut through the bullshit and understand what's actually valuable and how do we actually break it down to its absolute essentials, such that people who don't have a PhD in Web3, who don't, are computer scientists, can get access to this stuff. And they clearly succeeded. And so I think this is something where we actually can learn from at CommonGround, because we really try to cut away as much as we can and still stay true to the values and the idea behind Web3, but just cut away so much that what remains is so simple that anyone can use it. And I think we, succeed in some areas with that. We fail in others. So we have still ways to learn. But it's now 2023. It's not, 2020 anymore. It's not 2017. Like, I went through many cycles of this Web3 crypto craziness over the past decade. And I've never been as optimistic as I've been today about our ability to bring new groups of people into the fold, because now we have technologies that make it really easy to onboard people who know nothing and who rightfully know nothing because they shouldn't have to, and onboard them into an app that equips them with everything they do need to do things in Web3, but they never have to know that they have been equipped with this stuff. They never have to know what they are doing in the background. All they do is they, focus on, oh, this is a really cool collectible. I want to own it. Oh, it costs whatever, $100. I put in my credit card, I click purchase, and I have it in my app, right? This is the experience for an end user. And what they shouldn't know is that when they signed up to your app, the sign-up process generated a wallet for them in the background that is securely stored on the user's device, but also backup in their Apple Cloud, such that if they lose their device, their wallet isn't gone. When they put in their credit card, they didn't actually directly purchase this NFT. What they did is they converted through PayPal, for example, some money into crypto. With that crypto, they bought that NFT, and then this NFT was issued to the wallet that they were given at sign up, right? So there can be a million crazy processes happening in the background now without you as an end user ever knowing what you did. What you do feels like Web 2. You've done nothing else than you would have done normally. But in reality, it was really, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, but isn't it like basically, if you, and I was not there at the very beginnings of the World Wide Web, so people who understood what is going on in the background, they had a process of years to make it so easy that and everybody, I always ask the question, tell me when the first time when you put in Amazon.com or Amazon.de,
Yeah.
and then it popped up. And I told him that was a progress of years of development. Exactly. So it's like happening again, I suppose, and it will be all in the background, and the user will not notice it. Okay.
Exactly. It's happening again, and a bunch of key innovations have now happened after a decade of, trying, failing with this crypto stuff. A bunch of key innovations are now here that this is actually feasible. And this wasn't the case just 3 years ago. 3 years ago, most of the tech that we need to make that happen wasn't there. So it's really sort of convergence of different streams of development from, Apple making things possible in web browsers, Google making possible things in web browsers, people building new kinds of wallet technology, people building scalable blockchains that make transactions cheap, other companies creating credit cards with which you can spend cryptos, other companies creating US dollar stablecoins that you can keep on a wallet, but that are denominated in US dollars and have a stable value, and you can keep them, spend them, do anything. So many different things happened independently over the past couple of years, and for the first time they have converged into a stack, as we like to say, a set of technologies that put together give you something for which that allows you to build for end users who literally know nothing. All they want is click a bunch of buttons and have their collectible, or join a community, or win a prize, or anything like this. And it's now finally possible, and that makes me very, very bullish on this Web3.
Nice. We are nearing the 1 hour. Now, apparently, the United States is waking up, because now we have more people in here than at the beginning. Anyway, we have one question, or maybe there will be one more.
Yeah.
Please, the following, because I will make an X out of it, an X post. Like, try to do it in 3 minutes. Let's say 3 minutes. So that I post this video, maybe then people will get attentive and watch the whole thing. So the question is, what is the benefit for the VeVe community to join your platform, CommonGround? And let's not talk about next week, but when it's really, proper. And also this VeVe API, which I find interesting, because there are things possible with it, right? So what is CommonGround, especially for VeVe users, about?
Yeah. As a VeVe user on CommonGround, you will find other people who are totally madly in love with VeVe, and you can verify that they actually are. It's going to be a safe environment just built for you, your friends, your community, and your ecosystem, and other collectors that are just as crazy and passionate about this as you. It's an application that is much simpler to use, like, for example, Discord. And at the same time, it has features that Discord can never have, because Discord does not care about you or your Web3 hobby that they think is a joke. We, on the other hand, believe Web3 is the future of humankind. And we believe that we're building the right tools for you and your community to succeed together. We make it safe, we make it simple, and we give you things that you can never thought would have been possible in your web browser, on your phone, or on the internet in general. And we believe that the VeVe community can help make CommonGround successful. And together, we can really rock the boat and build something entirely different that the world has never seen before. So that's CommonGround in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm mind blown. It's like you were reading some, because some people might think that we scripted this whole thing.
No.
If they know me, I'm quite spontaneous. And guys, I told Florian, just roll with it. I'm not gonna send you a script or anything. Just be 1 minute before 8. I will tell you what it's about, and let's go. But this end sentence was amazing. So let's just answer this question from JTamp again, because I can answer it. I think as well. VeVe credentials. We will never give away our VeVe credentials to Florian.
No, never do that. Never give us your credentials. The API will not use or will not require you to give us your credentials or anybody else. So it works differently. I think you have to wait for us to launch it to see how. Let's keep it a secret.
Right. So that was a first look into CommonGround. I'm quite excited to say the least. And I will, why not? Let's do this one more time, maybe more in depth once we are closer to enjoy it completely. And then I will try to get one of those big guys also in the room, who are much more experienced than me, and maybe he will ask more. Some more critical questions, because I was quite nice. I was quite nice.
Very softball.
Very Florian, thank you so much for taking your time. Look, we did it 1 hour. Amazing. And talk to you soon and see you soon, I guess.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you to everybody who listened, and see you on CommonGround.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks, buddy.